Ariana Grande and Ethan Slather almost got people to forget about their whole scandal, but Ethan's ex-wife Lilly was not about to let that happen.
Lilly says, "No one gets married thinking they'll get divorced, but I really never thought I would get divorced. Especially not after giving birth to my first child, and especially not in the shadow of my husband's new relationship with a celebrity."
You guys, it looks like Ariana's relationship with Ethan Slather seems to be taking a different approach after his ex-wife, Dr. Lilly Jay, shared a deeply emotional essay. And just like that, the narrative has shifted from all the love, positive vibes, and holding space that came with the Wicked movie. Lilly's message has taken us back to literally 1 year ago when everyone was hot on Ariana's heels for being a homewrecker. Like, she is never going to shake this off. This is such a mess. And without any further ado, let's talk about it.
She says that during this whole thing, she was basically silenced with legal procedures and that she was forced to go through her breakup in the shadow of a celebrity relationship.
Let's set the stage for this one, guys. Like I said, it takes us way back. Everyone and their grandma already knows that Ethan Slather was married to Lilly Jay, and they have a baby together, and shortly after that, Ethan dumped her and their newborn for Ariana. Ariana and Ethan first met in 2022 on the set of Wicked, where their connection reportedly began. Fast forward to now, and their relationship is public, which makes this whole thing even messier. Remember back to when this whole thing started, both Ethan and Ariana were still married to Lilly Jay, and Ariana to her now ex-husband Dalton Gomez. Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez called it quits, with him filing for divorce in September. 2 divorces, 1 headline-making relationship. It was a tabloid fever dream. So recently, Lilly opened up about how her former partner's new romance with Ariana has affected her. This is pretty much the first time Lilly is speaking on this, almost 1 year after their separation. Fast forward to the release of Wicked, where Ariana plays Galinda, the Good Witch, and all was going well for Ariana. Or so we thought, cause Lilly's in the picture and the whole thing is crumbling, and the tension is at an all-time high. For Lilly, the movie's promotion became a painful reminder of the beginning of the end of a love affair turned marriage with her high school sweetheart, Ethan, who didn't find her useful anymore the moment he set his eyes on Ari. She said, "Days when I can't escape the promotion of a movie associated with the saddest days of my life are darker." In a weird twist of events, literally hours after Lilly Jay's emotional essay went public, Ariana Grande shared a series of behind-the-scenes photos from her time filming Wicked on Instagram. Interestingly, fans noticed her so-called boyfriend, Ethan Slather, and co-star in the movie was nowhere to be seen in the collection. The post seemed focused on celebrating her work in the film, with Ariana captioning it, "1 month of Wicked movie, thank you for your overwhelming love and embrace. I love you, we love you." The timing and content of this post was super sus, and it left fans wondering if it was low-key an attempt to shift the narrative back to her career, but whatever it was, it failed terribly. If anything, the comment section is wilding, you guys. People leaving comments like, "It has been wicked indeed." Meanwhile, Lilly Jay did not hold back in her essay for The Cut. She spilled all the emotions about her marriage's messy end, writing, "In the countless hours I spent rocking my son to sleep, pushing his stroller, marveling at his sweaty little hands grasping a crayon, I worked diligently on my private project of accepting the sudden public downfall of my marriage." Whew. It is poetic just as it is heartbreaking. She added, "This, I tell myself, is nothing to be ashamed of and nothing to hide." And honestly, that's a read on resilience, if I've ever heard one. But Lilly is not all doom and gloom. It looks like she's kinda at a good place and done mourning the end of a relationship with an unfaithful man. She is turning the page, sharing that she is working toward a new chapter with her son, saying, "In the absence of the life I planned with my high school sweetheart, a lifetime of sweetness is waiting for me and my child." Ugh, such a queen move right there. Still, she made it crystal clear that she and Ethan are entirely on the same team when it comes to parenting. She gushed about their shared love for their son, calling it fierce and unwavering. But that does not take away from the fact that Lilly's heartbreak runs deep. She admitted that she never thought that her marriage would end, especially not right after welcoming her first baby, and that the past year has been and pure chaos. She described it as a year of shock and mourning, and you can feel every bit of it. For someone who used to enjoy a life of invisibility as a psychologist, this very public breakup has clearly been a lot to handle. Let me take you back real quick to very recently when Ariana and Ethan almost became accepted publicly as lovebirds. The story goes that after the drama reached a peak, there was a moment when some fans took a closer look at her latest album, and suddenly the narrative started to change. The lyrics seemed to hint that maybe Dalton wasn't the innocent guy everyone thought he was. People started piecing together lines that suggested he might have stepped out on Ariana. Next thing you know, Twitter was blowing up with posts defending Ariana, saying that she was the real victim here. And suddenly, people were throwing shade at Dalton instead.
Afternoon. What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
Now, let's talk about Ethan for a hot minute. At first, he kept pretty quiet, but then he started showing up in interviews and giving the world a different perspective on his relationship with Ariana. There was that GQ interview where he was literally blushing, talking about how he and Ariana fell for each other on the set of Wicked and how his life had completely changed because of the media frenzy. And in the most unexpected twist, fans started to find him endearing. Like, people were out here calling him sweet and saying that they get what Ariana sees in him. I know it's almost unbelievable given how harsh people were just a few months ago.
Hi, I'm Ethan Slather, and this is GQ's one-word reply.
How are you feeling?
Good.
What did you have for breakfast?
Lunch.
Favorite time of day?
Morning.
Camelot or Spamalot?
Spamalot.
Dream co-star?
Jim Carrey.
How did you get into character to play SpongeBob SquarePants on Broadway?
Stretching.
Biggest pet peeve?
Falling.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Baker.
What is your favorite thing about NYC?
Walking.
First Broadway show you saw?
42nd Street.
What is your most used emoji?
Smiley face.
If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Patrick.
What inspires you?
Art.
Favorite character you've played so far?
Bach.
What was it like working on the film adaptation of Wicked?
Wild.
Biggest difference between the screen and the stage?
Close.
How did it feel to be nominated for a Tony?
Bizarre.
What's your hidden talent?
Nothing.
What is your favorite thing to do after a show?
Sleep.
What is something that people don't understand about SpongeBob SquarePants?
Joy.
How do you warm up to get ready to perform?
Barely.
But that is not even the craziest part, y'all. One particular moment that really seemed to change things was a video of Ethan on the red carpet with Ariana. Some fans approached him asking if he could pass a bracelet to Ariana, and the way he handled it, let's just say that people melted. He was super polite, taking the time to reassure the fans that Ariana would love it, even posing for a selfie with them. Fans in the comments were like, wait, this guy is actually nice? People were admitting that this one moment completely changed their view of him. Super wild.
Is it possible for you to give this to Ari for me?
I think she'll be coming if you want, but I can do that.
Yeah?
Do you want me to?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Pretty please.
Yeah, of course.
I would really appreciate that.
Sure. She'll love it. I'm sure she'll love
Can
it.
you take a selfie?
Yeah.
Can you take on her?
Wait, on your phone. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Then there was this clip of Ethan backstage at the Jennifer Hudson show where he was all smiles, vibing along as the crew sang him out onto the stage, and y'all, it was like people just fell for him overnight. Fans were calling him sweet, down to earth, and suddenly all the hate started fading away. The internet was starting to warm up to the idea that maybe, just maybe, Ariana and Ethan are not the villains in this story.
Ethan Slather, it's the music post for me. Ethan Slather. Ethan Slather is wicked for me. Ethan Slather is the musicals we see. Ethan Slather is wicked for me.
Thank you all.
And do not even get me started on Ariana. She has been sticking by Ethan's side this whole time, defending him against the tabloids. She recently told Vanity Fair that the way people twisted their story was just ridiculous, that tabloids painted this totally inaccurate picture of Ethan, making him out to be someone he isn't. According to her, the real Ethan is caring, kind-hearted, and nothing like the image the media created. I mean, she went in to set the record straight, telling the world that Ethan has the best heart and is one of of the most genuine people she's ever met. And if you think that's intense, there is even more. Ethan has his own way of handling fame, and honestly, he seems to be doing it in the most wholesome way possible. He talked about being a dad and how much his son means to him, saying that he wants to protect his son from all this craziness and let him grow up without the spotlight. It was such a raw moment that the fans couldn't help but feel for him. Even people who were ready to cancel him before were like, okay, maybe he's not so bad. You can practically see the redemption arc unfolding right in front of us.
I saw everyone online kind of acting confused after the Wicked Australia premiere, going, I don't know, like maybe I'm starting to like Ethan Slather. I knew it was going to happen. And now that the Wicked LA premiere has happened and those photos of Ariana and Ethan together have gone viral, I'll show you guys them in a minute. It's happened. Everyone has turned, and now everyone is obsessed with him. Love it or hate it, Ethan Slather is in his redemption era, because after all of this Wicked press, people are starting to fall in love with him. And like, honestly, I get it. I've seen some of the interviews. He seems like a really nice and genuine guy. Maybe the start of his relationship with Ariana was a little bit sketchy, but you know, he's kind of redeeming himself. And now people are reacting to these photos of Ethan and Ariana on the red carpet together, going, oh my goodness, I wish someone looked at me the way that Ethan looks at Ariana.
Then came the big Wicked premiere. Ariana and Ethan walked hand in hand, and for some reason, that moment hit different for a lot of people. Maybe it's because we hadn't seen them together publicly since all the drama started, but fans were saying they looked cute, genuine, even happy. They weren't putting on a show, just two people who clearly care about each other, and it was refreshing in a way that nobody expected. So here we are now with fans who are throwing shade left and right, suddenly jumping on board the Ariana-Ethan ship. The vibe shift is real, and honestly, one of the most unpredictable turnarounds we have seen in celebrity culture in a minute. Fans are weirdly conflicted, admitting that they're starting to see what Ariana saw in Ethan all along. They're still a little shook, but hey, they're here for the ride. And not just the fans either. There have been speculations that maybe the timing of this whole redemption arc had something to do with Wicked finally hitting theaters. I mean, it's no secret that the movie industry loves a little real-life romance to boost ticket sales. Whether or not that's true, one thing is for sure, the public's opinion of Ariana and Ethan has done a complete 180. Safe to say that this relationship has done so much good for the movie, because if the internet can go from hating to adoring Ethan and Ariana in just a few months, anything is possible. But that's the crazy thing about being in the public eye. Opinions are so unpredictable, and sometimes it only takes a few heartfelt moments to completely rewrite the narrative. However, in the same breath, the hate train might come back when you least expect it, because this public appearance was so short-lived. We're now back to where it all started. The homewrecker vibes. All right, moving on. It is no longer the same though. Even with all of the drama swirling around them, sources are saying Ariana and Ethan are sticking together, and dare we say, getting closer by the day, still being lovebirds in the eye of the storm, as they have always been from the onset. And even the fact that she put up the post literally hours after Lilly's post, which already went viral, and there's just no way she would have missed a post from the woman she husband snatched. The fact that she put up those photos is a whole new level of unbothered, and if you know Ariana's dating history, then you already know that is something she deadass can do. On top of that, Ariana has definitely grown thick skin within the 1 year of her dating Ethan, because this last post isn't something she would have dared to do even 6 months into the relationship. Back then, the most that she did was let her music do the talking through a couple of songs from her album Eternal Sunshine, which dropped right in the middle of all this chaos. In a nutshell, Eternal Sunshine was giving self-reflection, heartbreak, and a sprinkle of I said what I said. The album felt deeply personal, mirroring her own love life, especially after her split from Dalton Gomez. By By the final track, Ordinary Things, she got pretty close to addressing that big question and how it feels being with Ethan, dropping bars like, and when he'd come home and I'd see him, when he first gets off the train, it was like God Almighty arrived. It was seeing daylight. I mean, I could have packed up and left a million times, you know? It's not that we never fought. You can overcome that, you know? It's very easy. And as I told her, never go to bed without kissing goodnight. That's the worst thing you could do. Don't ever do that. And if you can't, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you're in the wrong place. Get out. That's some wholesome energy wrapped up in a very messy timeline. But I don't think Ariana's here for cheap gossip. In an interview at the Zach Sang show, she spilled that she combed through every lyric with the finest comb, making sure nothing could be turned into a media circus. I say everything and nothing at the same time. It's very vague and very specific all at once. But even as she thought she was committed to keeping things vague, fans pieced it all together and concluded that Eternal Sunshine was a dedication to Ethan Slather. And not to forget, the album's name has the same initials as Ethan's name. And just to confirm to y'all how much Ariana doesn't care anymore, her song The Boy Is Mine in the same ES album was just the ultimate bomb from the get. How can it be? You and me might be meant to be, can't unsee it, but I don't want to cause no scene. I'm usually so unproblematic, so independent. Tell me why, cause the boy is mine. Isn't this the bad girl anthem of 2024? In fact, Ariana once called it the spiciest song on Eternal Sunshine. She even admitted that she was low-key nervous about how it might be received, but her longtime producer was all in from the start. But there's more, guys. There's more. Let's just say Lilly Jay's post has opened a can of worms for Ariana. After fans finished dissecting her album, they turned their attention to her controversial dating history. For those unaware, Ariana has faced accusations of being a homewrecker in the past, a trend suggesting this isn't the first time she's been linked to someone who might have still been involved with someone else. Ariana has always been known for wearing her heart on her sleeve, but insists that is no excuse for breaking homes, relationships, and families. What's wild though is how quiet those same critics have been about the men in these situations. It's like Ariana's always the one getting the backlash while the guys barely get a slap on the wrist. Anyways, guys, Ariana Grande may have won our hearts with her music and spectacular role as Glinda in Wicked, but Lilly Jay's essay has definitely reminded everyone that her seemingly innocent demeanor and charming personality is a far cry from who she truly is. For now, Ariana is still standing, but the narrative feels more fragile than ever. The drama doesn't end there. So basically, Lilly didn't say anything specifically harsh or exactly what happened, but just briefly touched on her new life as a mother and a jilted lover. Believe it or not, word is that Ethan Slather and Ariana are reportedly relieved that Lilly Jay kept her essay composed and avoided dragging them directly into the drama surrounding their split. Sources close to the couple say that both Ethan and Ariana are fully aware of what happened and believe anyone who was around them at the time knows the truth. Remember, guys, Lilly even reportedly moved to London to be with Ethan. You know, as a supportive partner, she wanted to be there for him in his crazy schedule while shooting for Wicked. And they would even hang out with Ariana, who it has been said would even hold their baby. And yet the entire time, they were seeing each other. How heartless do you have to be? Anyways, my point is the takeover was so messy that if Lilly Jay was there to spill, there was no way we would have looked at both Ariana and Ethan the same way again. If anything, the way that Lilly has let the whole thing play out has largely contributed to the public perception of these two. They got some heat and some hate for a while, but suddenly people just let it go and even started loving them as a couple. Until now, and things have fallen apart. Although the former couple's divorce agreement restricted Lilly from sharing certain details about the events leading up to their breakup, it didn't stop her from expressing her emotions. During the legal proceedings, she was essentially silenced, unable to share her side of the story freely. Still, insiders claim she emerged from the ordeal with her dignity intact. Throughout the entire essay, Lilly avoided publicly discussing the affair, reportedly out of consideration for her son. She was mindful of how this story would one day exist online and wanted to ensure that her words were measured and respectful. However, she made subtle jabs at the situation, hinting at the challenges she faced during their split. That's all for now, loves. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think people will ever move past the homewrecker claims against Ariana, or is her reputation permanently tarnished? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.